everybody. Welcome back to Polymac Particles. Great to see all of y'all. Noemi, Dom, Rags, John Joseph, Aaron Kask, on and on it goes. Great to see all our people lining up today. Hope you guys had a good Monday night. I got to be totally honest with you. Mine was rather stressful trying to watch Logan Webb, put out a forest fire with just, a water pistol. That's what it feels like now. He's out here spinning magic, throwing great ball, and the Giants just can't support him. I've got some very troubling stats about Creative Tony's San Francisco Giants, so we're going to get into that today. But, Tony, I also want to just take your temperature before we dive into show number 101. Actually, a footnote real quick. Show number 101, and thank you, is we put a post out last night thanking everybody for the support, for the help, getting us through our first 100 shows, and that means all of you guys, and it also means our sponsors, which we're going to talk about in just a second, Tony. But since we can't really give you a 49er or a Giant that wears a number in the 100s, I'll come up with other cool stuff like this, Tony. Here's one for you. So show number 101, I happen to know this because I saw a documentary about the Clash. Joe Strummer, rest in peace. Joe Strummer's first band before he joined the Clash was called the 101ers, okay? The 101ers. And the reason for that, Tony, is like that was the address of the house that his band was living in. It was like 101, Maple Street or whatever. So this is our Joe Strummer 101er show. And Creative Tony, how are you? I know we're all aggravated with the Giants, but how you doing like overall in the universe as a single, organism?
You just threw like 70 things at me at once. So I just got to like kind of I got to just dissect. I got to, digest and dissect. First of all, shout out just Highway 101.
Yeah.
Right up there. The old, my childhood was raised on going up 101 to Candlestick Park. So if you want to go episode 101, Highway 101. And also I got to give love to the it's a good bar, Route 101 on Van Ness. If you're going to go to a show at the the Regency Ballroom.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go to the Regency, and we're not talking Hyatt Regency, people, we're talking about the Regency Ballroom. Great underrated room in San Francisco on Van Ness. The bar, Route 101, right down the street. So episode 101, shout out Route 101, shout out Highway 101, and Paulie also shout out Jobu. Let's bring Jobu to the show today. Because Jobo needs to take fear off bats. Okay, that's why I have my Major League shirt on today. We need Jobu. We need Serrano. We need Voodoo. We need something. I don't know what we need, but the Giants need some serious, dude. Logan, that performance last night. It's like Robbie Ray, dude, and then that Logan Webb. Like, come on, man. What are we doing?
Okay, well, put a pin in that, as they say in corporate America. Tony,
no, never. Hold on, Paulie. I will never put a pin in anything you say. No pins, no pivots, no.
Transparency? How about transparency?
Transparency is kind of on the bubble.
No, it's not. I fucking reject it, dude. It's
no.
Strongly reject. I'm going to be transparent with you. Get the F out of my face with that. I hate transparency. If you're taking a hardened, kind of stance on my terms, I'm totally rejecting your transparency nonsense. And by the way, with that being said, we got to dive right into business today because we do have to thank our sponsors. They're wonderful people performing wonderful services. And we have a wonderful guest joining us in about 15 minutes. So before we get to that, let me tell you a couple things about my main man, Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding. In fact, we've talked about the services, Losty, and I hope you're feeling better, Losty, if you're on the board today. I hope you're kicking that COVID thing. I know it's rough out here, man. But Carlos, obviously, a mortgage lender. He can provide personal loans. He can take care of mortgages. He can redo your mortgage, a fix and flip, whatever it is. We talked about his services, but I would like to go into the mailbag here and, again, read a review from a very satisfied customer named Lauren. I'm just going to read her verbatim because it's all pretty, accurate, authentic, and kind of revealing about what it's like to work with Carlos. So from Lauren Hoffer, hey, huge shout out to Carlos De La Fuente at Flex Funding. Going through a divorce is stressful enough, but Carlos made the process of securing a loan to keep my home feel smooth and manageable. That is huge. From start to finish, he was incredibly supportive, knowledgeable, and always one step ahead. His team was on top of everything, keeping the process moving and making sure I was informed every step of the way. Carlos went above and beyond to explain things clearly, and he worked hard to make sure I felt confident and taken care of. So if you're looking for someone who truly cares and can guide you through the tough stuff with professionalism and heart. See, I told you, professionalism and heart. Carlos is your guy. Thank you again. That's Lauren, a very satisfied customer. If you feel like you want to do some business with Carlos, or if you just have some preliminary questions about your financial place and where you'd like to be, give him a shout. 925-250-4894. Tony, you can email him as well at carlos@myflexnow.com.
Dude, by the way, Paulie, there's a song by 311 that I used to love. It was on the first album, and the song said, "F the BS, it's time to throw down," but it said the actual words. But I don't want to say that in Los's spot.
I appreciate it. Yes.
F the BS, it's time to throw down. And so what I'm saying is, as we get older in life and we deal with these very much adult issues, such as finances, such as mortgages, such as lending, such as there's no time for BS, right?
No,
seriously.
No,
Los is not going to waste your time.
There's no time. There's no time. We don't have enough time. Yeah,
right. There's no time for BS.
I don't know if we'll have enough time.
Right. But my point is that Los is not going to waste your time, right? And he's going to be a good dude while he doesn't waste your time. Because I've been dealing with all kinds of adult things lately in life, with whether it's money or if it's cars or if it's
adult things are no fun, Tony. I like the kiddie stuff better than the adult things. There's too much responsibility as an adult. You know what I mean?
I tell my kids all the time, enjoy it, because when this gets adult stuff, what are you doing, Dad? I'm doing adult stuff that you don't even know about. But Los won't waste your time, and he will also make it enjoyable. Those are two huge things that if you look forward to talking to somebody about your finances, you've already won. Yeah. You know what I mean? So Carlos will make it a winning experience. He wins, you win, everybody wins, and let's go Los. So again, 925-250-4894. Carlos at myflexnow.com. We love you, Los.
We do love you, Los. Feel better, my brother. Oh, and by the way, message from me to you, Los, on the air in the middle of the show. Sorry, I didn't have time to email you this morning, but I want to get you back on the air. We'll do that next week because Thursday, Tony and I are already contending with a lot of weirdness this week. Don't forget, I have jury duty on Thursday, man. So we might have to put something taped on the air for Thursday. We're working on that right now. But anyway, Los, I want to get you back on the show. We'll do that next week so you can speak about your own services from the horse's mouth. Tony, speaking of mouth, sponsor number 2, my main man. You like that transition? See how I do that? Yeah. I'm very skilled, Tony. It takes a long time to develop that kind of transitional powers. Okay. Dr. Matt Young, my main man in the dental game. He is a stalwart. He is a staple down in Union Square in San Francisco. He's been in business for over 25 years. He's Dr. Matt Young, DDS, general dentist and implant services. He offers comprehensive dental care to the entire PMP community, cleanings, fillings, implants, veneers, orthodontics, emergency care, all kinds of stuff. And he's just a great guy. I really want to stress that. He's a very easy guy to deal with if you're a patient and you're uptight, like I've been in the dental office. He puts you at ease immediately. He'll put the headphones on you. You talk a little baseball with him. He's a huge Giants fan. And it's funny because Tony and I had a pre-show meeting today. Tony, I'm going to give you the floor, actually, because Tony was saying, hey, Dr. Young, get ready. Your phone's going to be ring-a-ding-dinging because Creative Tony needs a cleaning. So, Tony, I'll let you kind of make your plea on the air because I know Dr. Young will be great. Very psyched to see you, buddy.
2 things, dude. 2 things. Maybe, first of all,
Utah. Give me 2.
The 2 things are maybe Dr. Young just needs to go to the Giants clubhouse, being a baseball guy, and give the Giants a nice cleaning. So whoever wants a cleaning, go to the clubhouse and also talk ball. And maybe he can take the hex off the bats somehow, some way. But also, I told Paulie I'm jonesing, needing, because I drink a lot of coffee. And I drink a lot of red.
Me too. I know. It's tough.
And the red wine, right? So red wine
again on both.
So fine. Keeps me rocking all of the time, right? So it's like that red wine and the coffee, it's got my teeth stained. So I need a cleaning. I want to go in on a Saturday morning. So I'm going to contact Dr. Young probably today about this Saturday or next Saturday, whenever they have an opening on a Saturday morning. Because I'm going to go in and I'm going to, dude, get this, Paulie. I'm going to take the train up to the city. Then I'm going to grab my Lime scooter and I'm going to scoot over to Union Square, to Post Street, to Dr. Young. I'm going to get my cleaning. I'm having a wonderful experience. We're going to talk playlists. I'm going to suggest certain music, request certain music. Then I'm going to leave that office feeling great. And then I'm going to take my scooter down to Long Bridge and have lunch. And it's going to be a great day. How do you lose on that great day? So the fact that they're open Saturdays is probably one of the things I love most. That doesn't have to deal with the actual people of the Young Dental Group. It's just the fact that they're open on Saturdays. That tells you that they're for the people. You know what I mean? They could take their weekends off. No, they want to be there for you. So Dr. Young, info@youngdentalsf.com 415-392-8611. 415-392-8611.
Thank you, Creative Tony, and Dr. Young. Thank you so much for helping us get through our first 100 shows, man. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate you guys supporting the show. It means the world to us, and it's why we're here. So thank you guys very much. Now, Tony,
hey, Paulie, real quick on one note, dude. Los has a great line about flex funding, and I wanted to get it on the air, and I'll say it again at the end of the show too. He says, "Don't be afraid of rates to buy," and then he says, "Date the rate, marry the house." Dude, I freaking love that, Los. So, dude, I'm going to bring that back at the end of the show, too, when we talk about flex funding again. Date the rate, marry the house. I freaking love it.
I want to make one final announcement about Dr. Matt Young, my friend and my personal dentist, and he should be yours, too. Trust me on this. Give him a shout. I don't want Dr. Matt Young to be outdone by Carlos's theme song, "Give us the los, give us the los." So what I'm doing, I've developed my own song for Dr. Matt Young. I got to put it down, though. I'm going to have to record this. But, again, I want to make sure there's balance in the PMP sponsor community. So, Tony, I have worked up a song tribute for Dr. Matt Young, and I'm going to reveal what it is right now. At least I'll tell you the band. It's based on a Kiss song. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're damn right it is. So it's a tribute to Dr. Matt Young. We're going to reveal that either later this week or early next week. But anyway, that's coming.
You're not going to give me Rod Stewart, "Forever Young"?
That's a good one, too. That's a good one, too.
Good Lord be willing. May your guiding light be strong.
Nice vocal. You want to know what? I got no problem with that track.
No, me neither, dude. Me neither.
I'll go Young Turks. I'll go Do You Think I'm Sexy? I'll do it all with Rod Stewart, dude. I have to.
How about Maggie, dude? Maggie. Come on, Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie May. Yeah.
Maggie freaking May. Hey, by the way, are we stalling enough to not talk Giants ball, or are we going to finally just how
about this lyric right here? Now I'm still stuck on Maggie May. You shouldn't have mentioned that, because now I'm going to talk about that for like 10 minutes. How about this when he goes, "I know I keep you amused, but I feel I'm being used."
Yes,
wow, dropping science, bro. Dropping science. All right. Anyway, you want to talk Giants? Let's talk Giants. It's not going to be
pretty.
We have to. Going to be pretty. The only thing the Giants have going for them right now is the fact that the Dodgers are losing games. I think they've lost 2 in a row. So the Giants aren't losing ground in the standings, but dude, they're losing. Their fan base is getting pissed, and I'm at the front of the line. Logan Webb. We just talked about him last week. And this is one of the few times I try not to blow my stack on the air, because I already feel like there's so many guys screaming and yelling in sports radio, and I don't want to be just another guy doing that. But if I do it, Gasoline Alley, Rags, I see you. Great album.
Nice.
Yeah, Rod Stewart. I know Rags knows his Rod. Is that if I do that, if I raise my voice, if I yell and scream and get pissed off, trust me, it's legitimate. It's sincere. And I'm just feeling for Logan Webb right now. This guy deserves so much better than the Giants are giving him. Let me just throw a couple of numbers out there at you. Tony, they lose last night 1-0 after Logan Webb throws 8 beautiful innings, 7 Ks, 0 walks. Giants leaving guys on base all night long like it's going out of style. They lose the game. And Tony, just for your records, the Giants have scored 4 runs or fewer in 15 consecutive games. Cut the crap. Seriously, cut the crap. I'm getting impatient now.
Hey, Paulie, I have sound from Logan Webb. I just have a quick soundbite from Logan Webb.
Oh, no, please, God, help me.
Damn right.
Actually,
yeah.
You know what, dude? That's the entire pitching staff, if they could speak right now. Because, dude, the Giants have given up 4 runs total. 4 runs total in the last 4 games, dude. That's what they've given up. And, dude, they're 2-2. In those 4 games. What are we doing, Paulie? I can't.
What are we doing, Tony? I feel you. Yes.
7 Ks for Webb last night, 102 pitches, 71 of them strikes. Dude, his ERA is down to 2.55. The Giants are second in Major League Baseball in team ERA. They are but they're 25th in team batting average. Dude, you know what's really sad, Paulie? They are only 15 batting average points higher than the 10 and 50 Colorado Rockies. Dude.
Well, listen, I mean, something's got to. I know, Tony, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you, but I do feel like they have to provoke some kind of change here. Now, they did make a couple of moves, and Carcion's coming back up, and Matos just got optioned to Sacramento. So you're not going to see him today, or tonight, rather, when Landon Roop, there it is, takes the hill. Matos, by the way, just hit a 3-run bomb on Sunday. Now it's like, yeah, grab your stuff. You're going to Sacramento.
Well, you want to talk about like the allure, or like the reason why lefties have longer careers in baseball?
Why?
Lamont Wade, the only reason he is still on the roster is that he's lefty. I promise you. I promise you. If he was a righty, he'd be gone. I promise.
I'm glad you mentioned Lamont Wade, because we had a little beanball going last night, dude, in the first few innings. I mean, he got drilled on the hand. He had to leave the game. Then Flores gets drilled on the hand. Logan Webb hit a guy too. You know, Tony, you being a ball player, doing college baseball and all that stuff, tell me like the worst places to get hit. Elbow and hand, I got to think.
Dude, yeah, the hand and elbow for sure. Although one of my kids, shout out Griffin Lucia, hit me in the shin like a week ago, and I still got bruising, dude. Because again, there's no meat. The places where there's no meat, like your elbow or your fingers. Or it's never fun. You want to get hit right in the ass. You want to get hit right in the ass, or maybe in the back. You're always taught to turn into a pitch, right? Like get into the back.
Right.
Ribs is not too fun either, because then you can't breathe, you can't sneeze, you can't burp, you can't do anything, dude.
Can't
right?
tie your shoe, can't bend over and tie your shoe. Right.
Yeah. And then but you always want to just kind of get that, get a little cheek in there, buddy, and just kind of turn the cheek into it.
I'm going to throw this out there very gently. Now, Creative Tony, we had Dennis McNally on yesterday. I'm part of the hippie movement. I try to keep it as clean as I possibly can. I try to keep the pacifist mentality at the forefront. But every now and again, my temper runs away with me. And let me ask you this. Would it be the worst thing for because if this continues tonight, I know the Giants are frustrated. I'm saying if anybody gets hit tonight wearing a Giant uniform, I think things could start to get a little spicy. You know what I mean? We got NL West, couple teams duking it out, second and third place. Would that sometimes I think like a brawl, an incident, the bench is empty, like that might actually help light a fire under this team. Am I wrong?
Well, dude, for some reason, the song, I forget who sings it. Help me out, PMP Army. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction.
That's not violence. Great pull. I don't know where you come. I don't know how you just pulled that out of thin air, but that's like 1988. There was all these rap guys got together, led by KRS-One, and it was like a stop the violence, self-destruction. We're headed for self-destruction.
Dude,
it was like stop killing each other. I'm on board with that, dude. Phenomenal pull, Tony. I don't know where you got it from. I don't know how you did that.
Well, because that's where the Giants are headed. They're headed for self-destruction because, dude, they need to basically distract from this. And I just saw Nikki D Francesco just said Padres are smart. They're going after Wilmer because he and Ramos and Jung-Hoo Lee are like the three main threats for the Giants right now.
I know.
And who's been the steadiest as far as driving runs in? Wilmer. And by the way, 12 runners left on base last night.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Dude.
I mean, a dozen, Tony, a clean dozen for you. We'll leave 12 guys on tonight. Yeah, just for your head.
Hey, Willie Adames, feel free to swing the bat with 2 strikes, by the way. I know he's a nice guy. I know he's a clubhouse guy.
I don't care right now if he's a nice guy.
Everybody, Nikki, hey, Willie's here. Let's all hang out. Hey, Willie, taking a called third in a 1-0 game, dude, when you're struggling.
You just dropped. Let's all hang out.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but I like it a lot. Let's all hang out.
All I hear about, and credit to DC because he vouched for him right out of the gates.
Buster Posey, he was talking to Murph last week, and he's saying you got to be patient with Adames. He's a dude. Quote, he's a dude. I guess that means
you know what I thought about that over the weekend, Paulie? I thought about that. I'm like, is Buster Posey going to come out and say, yeah, he's kind of a dick, and you know what, you guys?
He sucks. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know what, you guys, I understand your patience is run thin. I understand. And you know what? Adames is a dick. We only brought him in here for his bat. He's not hitting, so screw him. Do you think Buster's going to say that? No, he's not going to say that, dude. So hold on a second. By the way, hold on. Somebody's birthday today?
Yeah, we do. We got Mark.
Let's go. Nice, dude.
Mark Graves, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Marky Graves. Happy birthday to you. And thank you, brother, for supporting the show. It's our pleasure. We're going to be here riffing day in, day out. And I'm glad you like the show. And thank you for helping us out today, Mark. Have a great birthday. Cheers to you, my brother.
Dude, you know what kind of a guy Mark Graves is? He's giving out gifts on his birthday.
I like that.
That's the kind of a guy Mark Graves is. Mark, thank you very much for the super, brother. Hey, when we see you next, wherever that may be, wherever the next hang will be, we will have to buy you a drink of your choice or a beverage of your choice to wash this down. But Paulie, dude, I just like the Giants. Randy, we gotta give thanks for Randy. By the way, Randy of the Redwoods in the bullpen. His ERA is now 0.68, dude. He is thrown 13 innings, right? He's only given up 5 hits. Dude, 20 Ks in 13 innings for Randy of the Redwoods. That is phenomenal stuff right there. That is dealing. So again, we've been saying it for weeks now. The only reason the Giants are in 3rd place in the NL West and not like knocking on the cellar door with the Rockies is because of that bullpen. Yeah.
Stand by, Tony. I've got to interrupt this this program for very important behind the show production notes that I now have to take to the air. Yes. I just got a text from one of the most wonderful coworkers you and I ever had. Do you remember Sherry Yee? Of course you do.
Yeah.
Sherry Yee was such a lovely person, and she and I used to have these rendezvous in the kitchen every day because she worked on a morning show. I worked on a morning show. We'd be in there getting coffee, talking about our kids and Little League. Sherry Yee now works for Steve Moskowitz, and she just checked in, and she goes, Steve can't find the link. Can you resend the link to Steve, Tony, so he can join us? Go ahead, and we're going to have to do that on the air. Steve, sorry about that. Hang tight, brother. Here
no worries. Paulie, take it away for a second while I do some in-house.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. Send Steve the link. He'll join us in a moment. And I wanted to let the audience know. So Steve Moskowitz and I go way, 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 way back. We worked together for I would say 15 years. I mean, that's a pretty good span of time. And we became really good friends off the air. We would have him on the air all the time on KMBR. Tony and I had him on our podcast every single week. He was a sponsor. And we became friends and we became buddies off the air. We've gone and had many great dinners together with Tony, myself, and Steve, and our other buddy, Chris Young. And we just want to catch up with Steve. So we're going to have him on the show today because I have not seen him or talked to him in several months. We've been buried in the show. But we're going to extend that invitation right now. And I think Steve's going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes. And we go way back. And it's just a case where it's like, oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Email has been sent.
Okay, let me tell Sherry.
Version 2 has been sent. And Paulie, maybe we can talk about some of our dinners with Moskowitz that we've had. And maybe Moskowitz can take our minds off of how pissed off we are about the Giants bats. Or maybe as a suggestion, because I'm thinking about, I just rewatched Jobu. And, before Moskowitz comes on the show, I'm going to do it right now. We're going to get a little Jobu right here, right now, because why not, Paulie? Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, here we go. Can you see that? Do you see?
Yes. Give it to me.
Come on, here we go.
A little warmer on the bat. I love it, man.
He just takes Corbin Burnson's golf club cover, and Corbin's like, hey, that's mine.
Nice sweater.
Right? Oh, it's the best.
By the way, imagine big league ball players dealing with conditions like this now. Here we go.
Para que me des el poder, para conquistar el cuerpo. Te daré mi devoción para siempre poderoso.
¿Qué pasa there, Pedro?
Bats. They are sick. I cannot hit curveball. Straight ball, I hit it very much. Curveball, bats are afraid. I asked Joe Budica. Take field bats.
There you go. Look at that right there. Look at Joe.
No, dude, I'll get into this right now. Voodoo dolls. I like that he's lighting a cigarette in the voodoo doll's mouth, by the way. And I also like that he has I hit straight ball very much. Very much. You know what I mean? So, no, dude, whatever it takes tonight. I think maybe just the time to flip the spread, as they say. Maybe Melvin goes in there and throws a table across the room. Anything to get these guys' attention. That's why I asked the question a few minutes ago. Like, maybe a dust-up on the field would actually be a good thing for this team. Like, get them back all on the same page and firing on, all cylinders, fighting for each other. I don't want to see a beanball incident tonight, but it was getting close last night because Wilmer got pissed. When Wilmer got hit, he was pissed off. That was the third guy to be hit. 2 Giants, 1 Padre. And I wonder, you think that thing continues tonight? Guys throwing at each other?
I think the Padres know how to keep it spicy, and why not? Why not? I mean, they know that the Giants are struggling right now. They know that they're digging deep. So this is when you kind of keep the foot on the gas if you're the Padres and say, you know what, let's get deeper into their heads. If you want to play the mental game of baseball, get deeper into their heads. They know the Giants are down, and it's like I don't know, just kind of put the pedal to the metal and say, good luck, Giants. We know you're pressing. And that's the worst. I mean, I've been in slumps in my life, dude. That is the worst feeling in the world, because you
What's
feel like
the
it's never
cure?
going to end. You feel like it's never going to end.
Like,
You feel like
what
it's
is
never going
the
to end.
cure for a guy like Adamas, a guy like Lamont Wade? How do you punch your way out of that? Seriously, when you just can't buy a hit.
My college coach and high school coaches would say treat every pitch like a hit and run. So basically, hit and run. You're basically swinging anywhere that's like
Just put it in play.
Yeah, the only places you aren't swinging is like way above your head or in the dirt. Other than that, you're swinging free and you're just trying to run into one. And then once you get that feeling again of running into one again, then it's like, oh, there it is. Now it feels good again. And no, Don Peralta, we can't talk about slump busters on the program.
What does that mean, Tony? What do you mean?
I can't speak about that, Paulie.
No, I wouldn't recommend you do. No, probably not. Probably not.
I can talk about Joe Boo and putting a voodoo hex on, taking the voodoo hex off the bats. Actually, excuse me.
Well, I don't know what it's going to take, but I mean, they definitely have to find some way to inject some life into this lineup because you can't. This just simply can't continue. I mean, go ahead. Well, I was
going to say it could be worse, Paulie. Can I present to you how it could be worse?
I guess
you could be. There are two options where it could be worse. You could be the Colorado Rockies and only have 10 wins and 50 losses, which that's hard to do.
No,
dude.
This is like historically bad now. They're going to be in a territory if this continues. They're going to be on pace for one of the worst seasons ever.
Dude, there's a picture online last night. I should try and find it where it was a picture of the Rockies Marlins Monday baseball, dude. I mean, there was it looked like there were 10 fans in the stands. There were probably a couple thousand, but spread out all over the place. And just shout out to like the person who goes to that game solo just because they want to get some Monday ball. You know what I mean? I gotta just get my
shout out to the ushers and security guards who are trying to enforce people to make them stay in their real seat, even though there's only like 1,500 people there. I mean, at that point, I think the ushers should throw their hands up and be like, you know what? Sit wherever you want. Just go. You want to get down close to the field, go wherever you want. Because sometimes they're really hard asses about that. They won't let you move seats even when half the stadium's empty. Like shout out Candlestick Park, man. We used to buy tickets in the upper deck and then literally just go anywhere you wanted for a night game, a Giants game.
And how are you going to, if you want to keep bringing people back to the yard, it's like the kill 'em with kindness. When I used to work at a deli in Lake Tahoe, my boss would tell me, always make it an enjoyable experience for the customer because you want them to come back. So same thing with baseball fans. If you're an usher and there's literally $2,000 in the park and you got a section that's empty in front of you, the guy who's sitting or the girl who's sitting in the 30th row, you know, hey, if you want to come down and sit in the second row, sit in the first row, see what it's like. There's nobody coming today. Go for it. And that would probably encourage the person to want to come back to the yard. So I just don't understand why you got to be a hard ass about it. And organizations should be better about that. Paulie, my second reason why it could be worse, you could be the Sacramento Athletics playing in a minor league ballpark and have a higher team ERA than the Colorado Rockies, dude. The ERA is 5.78. The Rockies is 5.55. Dude, like that. Come on. I mean, it could be worse. I'm just trying to keep the glass half full, trying to give you silver lining. I'm just trying to kind of keep everything in a positive frame of mind because it is only June 3rd. But I feel like we've already had a whole June swoon. Yeah. And it's June 3rd. You know?
No, that's not a good sign when you're talking June swoon 2 day or 3 days into the month, bro. That's definitely not a good sign. All right, let me do this, Tony. Before I make the next step, I just want to make sure, is Steve in the mix yet or is he not?
No, not yet. Okay. Once he enters the green room, I will throw him on because I want to get Steve in the mix because I'm hoping.
Yeah.
For those old Paulie's podcast heads back in the day, Steve used to join us on I think it was Zoom, and but he had a great backdrop of palm trees and a Hawaiian beach.
The beach, right.
Yes.
Right.
So when I emailed him today, I'm like, hey Steve, looking forward to seeing you and hopefully your Hawaiian backdrop. So that's what I'm hoping we see with Mr. Moskowitz here anytime soon.
I think they're struggling. I don't know what's going on over there, but Sherry, Steve, I'm sorry you guys are having a hard time. If the link is good, just try to open it and jump in. If this doesn't work today, we'll do it again tomorrow or the next day. But they're out there somewhere. They're working on it right now. Creative Tony, while we wait for Steve to arrive, do you want to look inside the bookmarks, man? I've put so much stuff in there that we might want to take a little dip into the bookmark community.
And before we do that, Paulie, can I wish a happy heavenly birthday to Curtis Mayfield today? I just want to do
Yeah.
He died in 99, but man, you want to talk about one of the greatest R&B soul singers of all time, Curtis Mayfield, of course, most famous for Superfly and the Superfly soundtrack.
Great
But,
album.
yeah.
Great album. Freddie's dead, dude. Freddie's dead. You know what I
Freddie.
mean?
You know who was a huge Curtis Mayfield fan was Gary Radnich. He and I used to talk about Curtis Mayfield. I came into work one day wearing a Superfly shirt, and he goes, "Tony, what is that? What do you know? What do you know about that? What do you know about that T-shirt? You don't know about that T-shirt."
No. Yeah, Gary, what's up, Gary? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, totally.
Reach out to Gary at some point. I don't even know if he'd come on. He probably wouldn't because he likes to keep it a low profile now. But
Right.
Dude, I was always cool with Gary off the air. That's a no. What is that, Tony? No. Also, didn't Damon Bruce used to start his show with Curtis Mayfield? I think that was like his theme song when he was at KMBR. I think his opening.
So.
Yeah.
I think so. That's actually a good question. I don't remember, but I think you're right. That rings a bell. Remember the short-lived Damon and Gary show? The Damon Bruce. It was like 2 weeks. Or it was
I don't even think it went that long. I don't even think it was less than 2 weeks. I mean, sometimes you got oil and water out here. You know what I mean? It's not always going to. See, that's the thing that people maybe in management and radio don't understand sometimes is that chemistry it's a naturally born thing. You cannot fabricate or manufacture chemistry. In other words, you can't throw two people in a room, open the mics and say, all right, you guys give me a great show now. Chop, chop. Let's make this happen. Sometimes it doesn't happen. And that was an example of you got two really good broadcasters who just didn't mesh at all. You know what I mean? Like at all. So
to both of their credits, they both kind of made it known soon. Instead of wasting everybody's time, they both just said, you know what? I don't think this is going to work. And then they called off the dogs and said, okay, maybe we'll try something else, And is that, did what happened after that? Did Gary just go solo? And then okay.
You know what, Tony, speaking of Gary, I like that we're doing like a little Gary Radnich review right now, like a retrospective. But I think that I always thought Gary was best on his own. Like my favorite Gary show of all time is back in the late 90s when he used to be on from like noon to 3. And he used to do this whole thing. You remember he'd be doing the thing. What are you driving? What are you driving? Like when the cell phone kind of first hit the scene, that was his big thing. All right, Steve in Berkeley. What are you driving, Steve? Like he would ask everybody that. And I think Gary just was better when he had more room to operate on his own as opposed to having a partner. That's just me.
I was his morning show producer for like 6 months, and we worked together in the mornings, and he used to scare the bejesus out of me, dude, because the show would start at 6 a.m. And Gary always loved to sit in his car until 5:59.
People
and then come walking in. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey. Dude, and by the way,
he'd have that one little earpiece. Remember, he wouldn't wear headphones. He had like the earpiece. Yeah.
I also have to give love to Gary's sweatsuit collection because he would come in full sweatsuit, not top, not just top or not just bottom. Matching and like help me out. I don't know how you pronounce it. It was like Le Cog Sportif or whatever you call it. Do you remember that brand, Le Cog Sportif? I think it was called. He used to come in that in bright colors and like we got
a bunch of things going on here. We got a couple of supers, and I feel you on the Gary sweatsuits 100%. He was the master of the matching sweats. Let's get our supers up here real quick, T.
Yeah.
And all right, Escobar the Third. My dad had me play drums on Gary's show. Money. I love that. I didn't know you were a drummer. Escobar the Third. That's awesome. And that's a great little tip of the cap to Gary. And then I saw Ray. I think I saw Ray Goodman go flying by as a super too. Throw him up. There's Ray. Curtis Mayfield tribute 6'7" at Joffrey's Inner Circle. Here's the thing, Ray. You can't make that, and neither can I, because we got a gig together, Holmes. In fact, I talked to Pete Sitnick at Water Bar yesterday. We're very excited about this. Ray, I'm going to shoot you some more info today. I'll text you after the show. But in fact, Ray is going to sit in with me, Tony, second set this Saturday at Water Bar on the patio, outdoors in the back. We're going to be right on the bay. It's going to be beautiful. So, Ray, I look forward to playing with you, man. But don't make plans about that Curtis Mayfield show because I need you at my gig, our gig, if I may. And thank you for checking in.
With Ray, if you're telling me that Ray can sing Lenny Kravitz falsettos, he could definitely hit a Curtis Mayfield vocal. Maybe you guys work on a little Curtis Mayfield jam at some point.
Hey, no problem, Tony. Anything else? Maybe you'd like to hear some Frank Zappa? Can I whip up some Zappa tunes for you, or maybe like a 30-minute Yeah, give me anything else
Come on.
challenging. Any other?
No, you could easily mix it.
We'll recreate Bitches Brew for you. How's that sound, Tony?
I love how you equate Bitches Brew and Frank Zappa and 30-minute Dark Stars to like a quick move on up jam for with Kurt Samuel.
Great track, by the way. Great track.
Right.
Great track.
Exactly, dude. Come on, man.
Now, I got nothing against performing Curtis Mayfield. All that riffing was trying to disguise the fact that I can't do that. I can't sing like that. So that cat's out of the bag. No, I'm a Dylan Stones, the Grateful Dead kind of guy. All right. Anyway, Tony, bookmark me if you could. Bookmark me.
Wow. Hey, stand by. I'm not prepared for the bookmarks. Can you stand by? Let me load that up for a second, buddy. Yeah, let me see. I was trying to see what the schedule was today for the Giants. There's 6:45 again tonight, right?
Yeah, Landon Roop, there it is on the hill for us. Yes,
Roop, there it is. And again, if you're going to the game, go to Longbridge before the game and grab a smash burger. Today's the Smash Burger Tuesdays, by the way. But okay, let me play the open for bookmarks, then we can get going, Paulie. How about
while you're doing that, let me answer a question on the text line too. Anthony Merkovich asking, Paulie, how are you friends with Rags and the whole Dallas thing? Great question. That's good. That really is. It's a great question. So the answer to that question is, first of all, we go back to, I think the age of 13 is when we first met Rags. We were like 13 years old. We're talking decades back there. So the answer to your question is, we're locked in all week, and then when Sunday comes, he goes one way, I go the other. It's just as simple as that. And we both grew up in New Jersey getting abused by Giants fans, New York Giants football fans. Maybe the most intolerable fan base of all time with respect to Rags' Eagles problems. Dude, the Giant fan base is no picnic either. Sorry about that, Winks. I know you're a fan. And I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about a lot of the other guys back there. So we had that in common. Like, we hated the Giants' guts. And then come Sunday, I'd let him do his thing. He lets me do my thing. And we don't attack each other. We just kind of retreat to separate corners. That's how we've survived all these years. All right. Anyway,
what is it? There's something in TV or movies. You do your thing and will do mine. Who says that? Somebody says it in a movie or a song. I didn't know if that would trigger something for you, Paulie, because I
don't know that I can help you on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay, Paulie. Stand by.
It's time.
Sure, go ahead. Laugh if you want to.
For bookmarks.
Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddies.
PMP style.
I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
Needed this today. I did. This is good. This is good. Helping me wake up a little bit. Good. All right, T. Nice. Two, three, four. Come on.
All right.
Very nice, T. Very nice. Very nice. Okay.
Up in the club, as they say.
Okay.
Paulie, have you ever gotten up in the club?
I try not to. We talked about this a couple days ago. I'm not a club guy. You know what I mean? Clubs reject me. They spit me right back out on the street. And I don't really want to be in the club anyway. I tried it a couple times. It sucks. You can't hear anything. It takes 45 minutes to get to the bar to get a drink. Everybody in there sucks. Everyone's talking nonsense. I'm not a club guy, with respects to those who are. How about you, T? How about you?
Same. I tried. You know, I prefer watching musicians play music with instruments. No disrespect to the DJ culture and the DJ scene and to DJs themselves. I respect it. I respect the art form. It's just I need more personally.
And I need a miracle, but go ahead. Yeah.
And also just I don't know that dancing, like focusing. I don't know. I like dancing and focusing on the stage, not dancing and focusing on. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Hey, Creative Tony, maybe you and I should. I just had an idea. I just had a bolt of lightning. All right, how about this? Why don't you and I get together with some investors and we'll open up our own club, right? And it'll be like a hippie club where we play like 30-minute other ones into Wharf Rat, stuff like that. That'll be the kind of club I would actually go hang out at. You know what I mean?
Dude. Shout out some dear old friends from back in the day, Ken Schumann, Cassidy Bowman. These guys used to do these things once a month at local bars in San Francisco called Fish Fries. And they would rent out a bar and have all these fish heads come and they would just play fish music in the bar, like you said, like 30-minute tweezers or whatever. But it was also an excuse for people to hang. And especially this worked out well when Fish was on hiatus a couple times. So
well,
shout out the Fish Fry back in the day.
I got to say, hey, just an update on Steve. I don't know what's going on. Steve, if you're out there, man, I'm sorry this didn't work out. We'll try it again on another day. Or if you can still get in, come join us today. But I'm just letting people know it doesn't look like Steve's with us right now.
No, it doesn't. I sent them a second email, just a follow-up to the follow-up. And you know, dude, it happens, man. There's technical.
It happens. Technology. Yeah. But no, Tony, I was going to say, to your point about the fish fry, always never forget. Shout out Nikki's Barbecue on Lower Haight. They used to have a Grateful Dead night every Monday for years.
Yep.
For freaking years. And I used to roll in there, bro, solo. I would just walk in there solo. And DJ Tony, Dark Star Dan, if you're out there, give him some love. DJ Dark Star Dan, who also, I found out later on, handles all the sound at the Glide Memorial Church. How do you like that? That's DJ Dark Star Dan. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice, dude. And I want to give out. There was DJ Motion Potion, DJ Harry. There was DJ Logic. Those are 3 DJs I used to see. They used to spin jam band music. You know,
DJ Logic sat in with Rat Dog, Bob Weir's band. I swear to God, he actually sat in with Rat Dog. It was pretty radical. That Bob was like, I think I need a DJ up here, y'all. Hey, Rags. Rags has a kind of an anecdote about Steve Moskowitz saying Steve didn't make it today because he got jumped by all the girls in the green room. No, dude, I feel you, man. It's like Led Zeppelin back there. You know what I mean? It's like a Led Zeppelin backstage scene, and Steve is maybe getting he's mingling with the guests, we'll say.
That's a great line, Rags. I love it, dude. Nice work, buddy. This is fun, man. It's like Giants baseball. Fun, you know.
Look at Winks. I didn't know you went to Nikki's Barbecue on Lower Haight. Good for you, man. And it was such a great time. That's like a moment in San Francisco that's kind of gone now. But those were great times. Tony, while we're talking Nikki's Barbecue, can I open the door and ask if you'd be good enough to tell your story about hopping in the van with the reggae guys? I forget which band it was. Who was that?
So, dude, Steel Pulse was in town. I forget where they were gigging, but a buddy of mine was already at the bar, and this is back in the day of payphones. He called me and said, "Hey, man, you should get down here. Steel Pulse is down here." And so I get my ass down there. This is when I lived right near USF.
Were they playing or just hanging out?
They were just hanging out. And so we go in, man, and they had their van parked right out in front, and there was a DJ spinning reggae too. Also, I forget his name, but and they had a van, and when I walked up, they had the van, and I see rest in peace, Stephen Grizzly Nesbitt, the drummer from Steel Pulse. And I'm like, because I was starstruck, man, because I love that band growing up. I still do. David Hines is one of the greatest voices in all of music. If you had to pick a great lead vocalist, David Hines for Steel Pulse. Anyways, and they had the van open. They said, "Hey, you want to come on in and have a puff?" I said, well, "Sure." And then they took the party inside with, dude, again, like husky pencil joints, dude. Like, I mean, you know, and it was just, they couldn't have been nicer. And then everybody was so cool inside there too, that nobody mobbed them. Everybody gave them their space, and they were very generous with their ganj and their offerings, shall we call it. And it was a wonderful, wonderful time.
No, it is. And I miss that part of Lower Haight. I miss Nikki's Barbecue. I miss Spaghetti Western, all those killer spots that were down there back in the day. Chip Lang checking in going, guys, I was a huge Nikki's Dead Guy night fan. And he said also, for extra credit, shout out to Finnegan's Wake. Creative Tony, I believe that's a bar you and I closed. I can recall there was a little bit of a dust up one night with Tony and one of the female patrons. I don't know if you remember this, but you and I basically shut that place down one night. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
As we were going out, some words were exchanged. I don't know what happened, but every now and again, Creative Tony snaps, and this was one of the nights he snapped. And you got into a war of words with this girl, and I'm not going to repeat what you said, but it was one of the funniest lines I've ever heard you spit out.
Can you paraphrase, or can you bleep, or can you edit yourself? I can't, because I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't want to upset anybody, but I mean, it was kind of, you said, I don't know what was happening. I don't know why we got into it, but this girl started yelling at Tony, and Tony wasn't having it. He started yelling back, and we were like walking out of the place. I remember like walking out, and you spun around and told her, Well, I'll tell you what you said, and I'll use nicer language because I know we got the fair species on board today. And by the way, Scarlet Fire, if you're out there, thank you for that email. That was awesome. We have a lot to talk about. We'll get into that later, Bonnie, but thank you for all that info. That was killer, about 83. You told this girl who was yelling at you, and you were yelling back. You weren't having it. I was just standing there like, damn, look at T. Every now and again, he gets hot. And you said, you know what you need to do, girl? You need to go home. And you said, you need to go home and shave your A. Okay? Shave your A. Do you remember saying that? I'll never forget it. And I was like, damn, I don't even know like what that means. I don't even think you knew what it meant. Like, go home and shave your A. I was like, wow. That's what happens when Tony gets pissed. Shave your A. Anyway, true story happened at Finnegan's Wake. That's for Chip Lang. Yes.
If she happens to be out there somewhere and catches this, I apologize deeply. And
regrettable night. Yeah, it was a regrettable night. Blame. It's probably my fault on some level. I probably started it. I don't think.
Well, the two of us together, it was, there's always something. Something always goes down.
There's always some hijinks at play. Like when Tony and I, the fact of the matter is, the place we really used to hang out, Tony and I, when we dropped anchor, man, was up at Upper Haight. We used to hang on Haight Street at Hobson's Choice, dude.
Yeah.
Hobson's Blanket Choice. Oh my God, we had a couple of great nights in there drinking that punch. Remember they used to make that Hobson's Choice punch, dude. What was in that stuff? Was that like rum punch? Like what was that?
It was kind of like a rum punch. It was kind of like the Scorpion Bowl at Trader Sam's. It was just a big punch bowl, man. They give you a ladle and cups, man. They're like, here's the punch bowl, here's the ladle, and here's cups to share amongst your friends, man. It was I gotta give love to my buddy Chris Dickerson. He was the owner of that place, and I think it's closed.
Dude, I did. I drove by. I was driving down Haight Street in the past few months at some point, and I saw that. I think I saw it closed or it was boarded up. I was so bummed out. I was like, and they're primo location too, right on the corner. What was that? The corner of Cole or something? What's that on?
Oh gosh,
no, maybe closer to Masonic. I forget.
It was near Murio's trophy room, though. By the way, Chip Lang, I see you on the chat. It was near Murio's trophy room. That's for sure. Man, that strip of Haight. God, I love that strip of Haight.
Let me tell Rags. He's asking a question about San Francisco. Rags, Trader Sam's is this great bar in the avenues out. It's kind of like if you're headed out to the ocean, like Ocean Beach. It's like on the way. For those that don't know the city, like Rags, and what is that, like 25th, 25th and Geary?
25th and Geary, 26th and Geary is basically the corner of Trader Sam's. I lived on 25th and Geary.
You know what that place always reminded me of, Trader Sam's? And I haven't been there in years, but that was another hangout too, because Tony lived up there for a while. And it reminded me, Rags, of the bar in Goodfellas, because it had like that tiki, like thatched hut kind of vibe, like a Polynesian vibe. You remember in Goodfellas when they burned that joint down? Like that place always reminded me of Trader Sam's. It was very similar, same kind of lights, dim lights. And dude, the bar was like a horseshoe. It was like a round bar, and I love that. It was like it was very intimate. Like the guys sitting across the bar from you could have conversations with them just because of the way it was set up. It was a really cool room.
And you could have your own little tiki little booth if you arrived early.
Yeah.
And I got to
Utah. Give me two.
I got two things. I got to give a shout out to my younger sister Amy, who put down her own Scorpion Bowl one night when I was with her. And Amy is tiny, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, that's bad.
She was in rough shape. And then second of all, Paulie, do you remember me and my roommate? Everybody, my roommate and I lived on 25th and Geary. We had a bag of brown Mexi weed. It was called, and we called it the Pillow. Do you remember the Pillow?
I do remember the Pillow. Yeah.
It was a big, like, Ziploc bag, and it was stuffed full of just, shake. Basically a big bag of shake.
Right.
We were so
right. That's right. It was all shake. There was no buds. It was just shake.
It was all shake, and we would bring that pillow.
Where'd that come from? That thing?
I forget, man. But we would bring that pillow to Trader Sam's and just walk around. Just go. Get in, grab a handful.
Oh,
grab a handful.
Grab a handful. Walk in with it. I know. Well, see, I got to tell one more. It's so funny. We started bookmarks like 15 minutes ago. Haven't shown you a single one.
I know. Sorry. We'll get there.
I don't even care. We're having a good time. But Tony, there was another great thing, and I think I might have told this story on the air before. So forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but I'm actually a little unsure. The day, I'm going to say this was the day. Now, I was at this game, and I know Tony was home with his buddy Ted watching the game on Geary. And and by the way, dude, a lot going on in my head right now. Sorry. All right, hold on. Let me blow the horn on myself. Stand back, Paulie Mack to the scorer's table. That one's on me. Two memories just came flying back. I'm going old school San Francisco stuff. So when the Niners played the Green Bay Packers with Brett Favre in the NFC Championship in 90, it was the 97 season, but the game was played in January 98. Horrible game. I'm still pissed off. J.J. Stokes caught a touchdown. His feet were in. They disallowed that. Favre got sacked. He fumbled the ball. Gary Plummer picked it up, ran it in the end zone. They disallowed that. That's two. They took 14 points off the board.
Oh, yeah.
For heaven's sakes, I'll get pissed. But anyway, I was at that game. It was pouring rain, and Tony was home with Ted, his buddy, his roommate Ted, watching the game. And then either I went to your house after the game, like late that night, or maybe the next day or something.
No, you came over that night.
I kind of feel like I did. And Tony, and let me tell the audience.
What was the commiseration? We all wanted to commiserate. You're like, I think we need to hang. And when you walked in, it was a scene when you walked in.
No, and Tony, myself, and his roommate Tedder. What's up, Tedder? I miss you, brother. He was a great Niner fan. He fit right in with us. He was a hardcore Niners, hardcore.
Yep.
So Tony and I go into his house, and Tony lived in this flat on Geary above like a box store, whatever the hell that was. Box store? I don't know.
It was across the street from Jack in the Box. That was after 25th and Geary. We moved to 10th and Geary, and had that long flat.
My God.
Yeah.
This place was effing huge.
Yeah.
It was like one of these places you would never even look twice at it on the street. And by the way, today, that thing probably gets rented for like $7,000 a month,
Dude,
$8,000. I'm not even kidding.
We paid $1,500 total. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath flat.
Dude, my place on Baker Street that I got in 96, ready for this? I mean, it was pretty nice, man. It was like a pretty nice place. And trust me, none of us were making any money.
No.
But San Francisco was kind of affordable back then. Bro, I had on Baker between McAllister and Golden Gate, 3-bedroom, two full bathroom, garage, washer, dryer. Ready? Swear to God, $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month. That's like $1,200 a week now, if you're lucky. But in any case, Tony lived in this massive place above a box store, whatever the hell, and it was massive. It was just gargantuan. So anyway, I go there after the game, and I walk into their TV room, and there's just shit everywhere. Like the room has been destroyed by like a tornado went through there. And I was like, what's different about this room? Something's different. Like there's something missing. And he goes, oh yeah, we broke the coffee table and threw it in the fireplace. I was like, I love these guys. I freaking love these guys. Like I fell in love with Tony and Sutter. I called him Sutter. That was my nickname for him. Tedder, like in a profound way that night. Tony trashing. How did you break the table? Was that fists? Was that
we
leg?
both on one of those plays? I forget which one. I think it was the Plummer play. On that play, we both simultaneously pounded different portions of that table, and it split in 2 spots.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, this thing was not, some really well-made piece of furniture. It was a secondhand store.
Yeah.
Find, or we maybe even found it on the curbside, like out in Golden Gate Park, and said, "Hey, let's bring this home and put it in the house or put it in the apartment." And the thing busted. I'm like, you know what? And then once that happened, and we had somebody else over. Who else was over? Somebody else was over. Anyways, they helped us, and we just said, you know what? This thing's going.
Let's burn it. Let's light it up. Yeah.
So we had a little seance. We had a little end of the season seance, and then you came over, and you're like, what the hell?
No, dude, it looked like a gang fight had happened like in their TV room. It was awesome. Yeah. And now, by the way, here's an example of great particles in the universe. Every word I'm about to say is true. So sometimes, Tony, I still like to go out to the Richmond, and I like to hike out at Lincoln Park, or I like to go to the beach, stuff like that. Yep. And I like to go early in the morning because it's like quiet out there, and you kind of get the run of the beach or run of the trails and all that. So I was doing that a couple of months ago. I think I was going out to Baker Beach and hiking up on those trails there, and I drove by your old place on Geary. Guess what it is now? This is the best. It's not a box store anymore. It's a dispensary. How about that? Yes, dude. I think it's called like California Dreamin' or something like that. If you guys know what I'm talking about, help me out. But where Tony used to live above a box store is now a dispensary. And I'm like, that is appropriate in the universe, considering what used to go on up in there.
Dude, but those days were so fun. We were just getting going in radio. We were all single. We were all just kind of like footloose and fancy free, as they say. And those were,
yeah.
Oh, right. And Baker Beach right down the road, or if you want to go out to Ocean Beach, or if you want to go down to China Beach.
Gordo's Burritos, even though that poll said there is no such thing as a good burrito in San Francisco, which I still don't know what the hell that was about. Was that an SF Gate poll? Was that what that was?
That was a Yelp awful. That was
Hey,
based on eaters' feedback on
Yelp
people that have been to places. Yeah, Yelp, eat it. Come on.
Tighten it up, Yelp. Tighten it up, man. All right, Creative Tony, let's dive into some bookmarks. And have you noticed I've like avoided talking Giants more or less the whole show? Because I was about to blow like a volcano. I was
going to say, there's no point in talking about it because it's just going to get us both pissed off. And there's nothing we can do except hope that either they make a trade, but if they trade, somebody like Birdsong could be gone, right? If they trade for a bat, would you be willing to do that? I know we're going to get into a bookmark, so we don't have to talk. We can talk about.
Great question. My gut says no, because I like pitching, dude. Pitching is what gets you to the promised land. We've seen it here in San Francisco with like those 3 World Series teams with Bochy. Those were all predicated on great pitching. So
correct.
I have a hard time letting Birdsong go. I like that kid. I do. I like his whole thing.
Can somebody tell me why the safety squeeze and the suicide squeeze have left the game of baseball?
Oh, you'd have to tell me. Those are things I don't understand at all. I don't know.
I mean, you know how much of a fan of bunting I am. I love bunting.
I love bunting, dude. And tell everybody why. You always say the same thing. Why do you love bunting, Tony?
Because it causes chaos. Always. Even you could be the most well-equipped, well-practiced team on bunt coverages, and when a bunt happens in the game, it still causes an element of chaos and an element of surprise. That's why I love the bunt. And you have to execute on a bunt. You have to execute. Somebody's throwing off balance. Somebody's throwing on the run. Somebody's throwing a hurried throw. There's something that's going to happen. So usually you want to try and sacrifice somebody over. But man, the Giants need to get a little more creative at the plate. I'm saying if you got a runner on third and you got one out and you've got freaking Willie Adames at the plate, sorry, Willie. I know that in the past you've probably come through and driven that runner in.
Right.
Not this year, pal. So
not this year, pal. No.
So hey, Willie, you know what? Put your ego aside, drop one down, get the freaking runner in, dude. Like a safety squeeze. That's what I loved about Dusty Baker. That's what I loved about Roger Craig, is they believed in that old school. You saw the suicide squeeze. You saw the safety squeeze. The suicide squeeze is one of the greatest plays in baseball if executed, because it's again, the chaos that happens, and the pitcher the only way it doesn't work is if the pitcher picks up on the runner. If the runner leaves too early from third and the pitcher picks up on that and the pitcher pitches an unbuntable ball. But if it's an unbuntable ball, then it's very difficult for the catcher to catch that ball and get the tag down on the runner going home. Right. So that's why it's a great play in baseball that you never see anymore. And when you're in the midst of the doldrums that the Giants are in right now, something's got to give, man. You got to start thinking outside the box.
Something's got to give 100%. And one other complaint, if I can just keep griping and give you some more grievances. Here's one more thing. And I bet you I'm not alone on this, man. The other thing about last night that really, really sucked, and by the way, still haven't done a single bookmark, not one. Is that not a single? Maybe we don't even do them. Maybe
there's one I want to show you, but go ahead.
I'm getting to the point where I just feel like, you know what? Why not? Let's just go bookmark free. What the hell? I mean, we're like an hour into this, dude. We've been teasing bookmarks for about 30 minutes. All right. Here's this last night, dude, was like my breaking point with this effing ghost runner crap. I can't take it. It's not baseball. They really have to correct. They got to get rid of this shit, dude. It's not baseball. It's correct. Not because after what Logan Webb did last night, that was like a heart and soul guts performance last night, just trying to keep his team in the game. And he did. He held San Diego scoreless for 8 innings. Okay. I feel like let's let this thing get settled. Oh, I don't know, in a traditional way, like playing baseball. Dude, just awarding a runner. I know we've all done this a million times before, but dude, last night, it really pissed me off. Because they didn't deserve that run, if I may say so. Like, I don't feel like that was a run that really wasn't earned. I feel like you don't just land on second base, dude. You got to earn your way out there, man. And if you know what? If we got to play 10, 12 innings, so be it, bro. So freaking be it. And you're telling me paying customers are going to be unhappy because what? You're getting more baseball for your dollar? Why would that upset anybody? Listen, you got to go home. Go home. That's fine. I don't care. But, dude, the game should be settled in baseball terms. Tony, thank you for giving me the time. I hate the ghost runner so much. It's just not baseball. I'm sorry.
Also, Paulie, I hate it because, extra innings is one of the greatest things in baseball because there's no freaking clock, right? Now we have the pitch clock, fine. Now we have this runner at second base. No, dude, especially in the pitcher's duel. And tip your cap to the Padres staff last night. They did a great job throwing 9 innings of blanks too. So it's 0-0, and you're gonna have the game decided on a fake runner at second base. It's such BS. Paulie, I feel like, it's too much baseball. The players are tired. Oh, they need to come back the next day. Hey, you know what? You know what?
And we all have to go to work. Everybody has to go to work.
Dude,
what do you want?
Time out. They have all the November. They have all the December. They have all the freaking January, dude. And these guys are getting paid gajillions of dollars, and they get 3 guaranteed months off every. Yes, they're working out. I know they're working out.
On top of that, okay, I know, because now I'm getting paid. The blood pressures are skyrocketing. Go ahead, Steve.
I know they're working out every day, but they're working out for maybe a couple hours a day.
Then they get getting rub downs by like world-class medical trainers and staff, and like, oh, where's it hurt? Your calf? Let me rub that down for an hour and a half. It's like, damn, I don't get that. I still got to go to work. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They're probably at the White Lotus, Thailand for a month, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hanging out with Goggins. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So don't tell me about this. Oh, the players are tired. It's a tough schedule, and it's every day. Yes, that's
Tony. They're hanging out. They're hanging out at the White Lotus, getting romantically involved with their brothers. You know what I mean? Like on White Lotus, they're having
But this is what I know. It's a grind. I know the season's a grind, but you signed up for it. This is what you aspired to be as a professional baseball player, and you're getting paid handsomely to do it. And you're guaranteed 3 months off. And if you don't make the playoffs, you get 4 months off.
Right.
Whoopee! Here we go. So it's like, it just drives me insane about this. Oh, well, it's too much baseball. And that 18-inning game against the Washington Nationals, when Belt went deep, is one of the greatest games I've ever seen in the history of baseball in my life. And they took that away from us, Paulie. Last night could have been a great 15-inning back and forth. Who knows what happened? Somebody would have had to get creative. Somebody would have had to done something off the wall. Who knows what would have happened without that stupid ass runner?
Do you happen to remember? A lot of people think this is actually one of the greatest baseball games ever played, the game I'm about to mention. And by the way, the hell with bookmarks. Screw bookmarks, dude. I'm getting pissed at bookmarks now for getting in the way of this baseball conversation.
Well, here, say goodbye to Joy Boy. Just say goodbye to Joy Boy. Okay?
It's my bad. I apologize. We'll catch you tomorrow. Just like Steve Moskowitz couldn't get on today, I can't get to bookmarks. I'm sorry. I apologize. We'll figure it all out, and we'll be back tomorrow. Tony, in 1980,
leave me alone. I'll figure it out. Leave me alone. I'll figure it out.
No, Mom, I'm not on drugs. I was just thinking, I'm okay. No, Mom, I'm okay. Shout out Suicidal Tendencies. We'll see them soon. We'll see them soon with Metallica. Go ahead.
Hey, Paulie, when are we going to get to bookmarks?
Oh, no.
Yeah, totally. Louder. Give me turn that up a little bit, T. I want more volume.
Hold on.
Yeah. Get rid of the bed, too. It's enough. Everyone, we're losing it. Yeah.
Paulie, do you know when we're going to get to bookmarks?
Oh, no.
Are we going to get to bookmarks tomorrow?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, nobody knows. Nobody knows. All what I do know is that after the show today, I'll probably stick 5-6 more bookmarks in there, and then we'll never get to them because there's like 100 of them in there, and they're all really good.
Can I just give you a tease of one of the bookmarks? Was Christian McCaffrey wearing a Dead Company jersey? That was a T-shirt. That's all.
That's crazy, dude. Great minds and whatnot. I put the exact same tweet in there, bro. The exact same tweet. And thank you, P1 Chuck, if you're watching, because my buddy P1 Chuck Acquisto, he's a De La Salle buddy of mine, a De La Salle dad. He sent me that photo, and he goes, "Hey, Paulie Mack, check the shirt," because I didn't even notice it. I was like, "Oh, damn!" He's congratulating Saquon Barkley for making the cover in the new Madden game, and he's wearing a Dead and Company shirt. It's really cool. All right, Tony, back to the baseball take. So I got like two things.
Sorry. P1 Chuck, he was the one that he was an extra on White Lotus, or no?
Correct. On Gemstones. Yes,
he was an extra.
Yeah.
We have to share those photos tomorrow night in the night flight, because he sent photos of him being an extra on the beach for Gemstones. So we got to share those tomorrow night.
Did you see McBride on the beach too? Like you can see McBride standing there talking to the director with his big gut and everything. It's amazing. All right, Creative Tony, let me get this off my chest because this is more baseball stuff. So in '86, the year the New York Mets won the World Series and they beat the Red Sox, the Bill Buckner game and all that, the NLCS between the Mets and the Houston Astros was like one of the greatest series of the last 50 years or whatever. Yep. And that game 6, a lot of people think that's one of the greatest games ever played. It went 16 innings. Mm-hmm. Now, if they were doing this ghost runner horse that game might have ended like in the 9th or the 10th, and then you're robbed of history. You're robbed of drama. You're robbed of Davey Johnson doing a lot of weird stuff, like having to plug guys in, like Kevin Mitchell, grab him back, get out there. I know you're a rookie, but make something happen. And he did. You get the result of playing baseball yields great things when you put ghost runners on the base, Tony. Again, it's so objectionable to me. It's just not legitimate baseball. And I'm sorry I'm on a tangent about this, but it really pisses me off. And it's like this. It's like when you said earlier MLB, and by the way, hey Manfred, bro, go jump in a lake, dude. Go fly a kite. Any of those old ones. And you take.
Why'd you go pick up Goodell? Pick up Roger Goodell on your way, and you guys go deep into the woods and go find Sasquatch for us.
Or well, no, that's too pleasurable. I want them to do something more like life threatening. Like how about this? Take a long walk off a short pier, one of those kind of things.
Yeah,
you know what I
and
mean?
also another bookmarks tease is, dude, they've cited Sasquatch in the forests of Oregon, by the way, just so you know. That's in bookmarks as well.
Oh my God. Okay, more Sasquatch stuff. I forgot to report about this on the show. A couple of days ago, dude, over the weekend, I don't know what I think it might have been that Sopranos thing. I put something up where I was like, oh yeah, OKC. I was just being an a-hole. I was being a wise guy. I'm like, oh yeah, no, OKC and Indy. Like, I'm really psyched. And I put a picture of Tony Soprano just looking totally pissed off. I think somebody liked that tweet whose handle is freaking Sasquatch. And
no way.
Yes. And there's a picture of Sasquatch, like as his icon. Anyway, shout out to that guy, whoever you are, or girl. I'm not sure who it was. But
you sure it wasn't Pasquatch for the Kansas City Royals?
No, I don't think so, man. Okay. I don't think so. Lily Merchant got Loch Ness. I feel you on that. So you said a couple of minutes ago, like one of Major League Baseball's like reasons that they gave. Oh, well, people don't like to spend that much time at the ballpark. Everyone's busy. They got but you just said a minute ago, what? So you're going to be unhappy when you get extra baseball for your dollar? Like
Paul, we used to call it free baseball. It's free baseball.
There are people out there that really feel that their time is so limited and so crazy that like they don't want to stay at the yard all night. I'll stay at the yard all night. I'll sit there till 2 a.m. if I have to. Now that I'm not doing mornings with Murph and getting up at 4, bro, I'll stay there all night. In the old days, I had to leave because I had to get up at 4 o'clock. Now I don't care. Give me the extra stuff. When Springsteen played in Oakland in 1999, I'll never forget this. I was reading a review of the show in the paper. He did like 3 nights in Oakland in 99, and one of the reviewers was actually complaining about how long Bruce played. I'll never forget this. The guy goes, it was a good show, and it was good to see the E Street Band, but Bruce could have made his point in 2 hours or less. He didn't need to play for 3.5 hours. I'm like, so now let me get this straight. You're getting pissed that this guy's out here giving you like all the music you can handle and then some. Like, people were upset. Oh, he played too long. I'm like, you know what? I got to check out. I don't know what's going on anymore, man.
Come on. Don't bullshit me.
True story. True story. The reviewer complained that Bruce played too long. Sorry about that. Yeah.
That's outrageous. And also, you know what I can't stand now because of that freaking pitch clock while we're complaining is that if I have to go, use the facilities, or if I want to go get a slice of pie, or if I want to go get a beer, there's a good chance I could miss a full inning because of how quickly games go now. And
Tony, I need an explosion. We've got breaking news. Give me an explosion. Okay, Pine Needle, thanks for bringing it to my attention. This is truly a community effort. We're all doing this together. The New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks have fired Thibodeau after 5 seasons. Wow. He's going to take his 4 strands and he's going to hit the road, Tony. No more Thibodeau. I don't think he was the problem, personally. I think maybe Karl Anthony Towns should have learned how to play a little bit better defense. Am I wrong? You guys tell me. I know there's hardcore Knick fans out there. Stevie B, you let me know what you think. I kind of like Thibodeau for this group. I think Brunson backed him publicly after the series ended with Indiana. And think about this, Tony. Think about this for a second. This coach, Tom Thibodeau, took the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years.
Yep.
You're fired.
Dude,
think about that. The guy took him farther than any coach has in 25 years, and they fired him. I'm not crazy about the move. That's just me from a distance. What do you think, T?
Paulie, I'm very excited for Thibodeau because now you know what's going to happen for him, dude?
What?
This is going to be a whole rejuvenation for him, not just basketball-wise, but in his life. He's going to shave his head. He's going to get in shape. He's going to take some time for himself. He's going to come back a new man.
Looking your best after you get divorced. Right.
Seriously, he's going to go through a whole transformation. He's going to come back with double guns to the Knicks organization, and he's going to come back with somebody else, and it'll be like, who is this man? And it's going to be Tom Thibodeau, and he's going to be ready to go, and he's going to have a nice slick ball dome. I'm really excited for him, actually. This is going to be a rebirth. I'm excited to watch the rebirth of Tom Thibodeau. Here we go.
I appreciate that, and I hope he lands on his feet. I actually think he's a good basketball mind. I hope that the Warriors don't lose one of their assistant coaches to New York. I'm dead serious about that because it feels like every year Steve Kerr's staff gets plucked. People come in and just start taking coaches, and that speaks to Steve and his whole pedigree and his staff. But I don't know who the candidates are. This just happened. Thanks again, Pine Needle, for bringing that to my attention. It is confirmed on ESPN.com. But I think that's kind of a crazy trend in sports, Tony, where you look at a guy like Mike Malone. He wins a title with the Nuggets. A year later, yeah, we don't like you anymore. You're fired. It's like, bro, I just won a title for you guys. What are we doing out here? And the same thing with Thibodeau. 25 years. They go to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in a quarter century, and they fire him. So I guess they had to do something, but I would rather them make a move with the players. You got to get some more help around Brunson, in my opinion. But anyway, there's your breaking news, T. Sorry. Yeah.
Did you say they have to do something? Because I think the Giants need to do something. Like do they need to make a move? I think they need to make a move, Paulie. I really do. They need another bat, man. Because if we're relying on Chapman and Adames to be the anchor of this offense, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Dude, Adames might get up to like 240, maybe. Chapman's like 235 right now. Dude, they need another bat.
Yes, Tony. Yes. This is maybe the most frustrating thing about the San Francisco Giants to me is the fact that, like, before this season started, you had Buster Posey out here, who we all love and we all respect. But when he said about a few weeks before the season, he's like, no, I like this team we have. I like what we have here. I was like, oh, shit, really? Again, we're going through this? Because it's like, dude, yeah, we got a nice collection of players, but you're seeing what that gives you now. We have great pitching, and we have very, very minimal hitting, and that's being generous, dude. That's minimal hitting. 4 runs or less in 15 straight games. You're not going to win a lot of big league games with that kind of offense. So, Tony, I don't know what the deal is. The Giants have so much blanket money down there. They're printing money, Holmes. They're printing money. They have the money to bring in a player like Alonso, like Pete Alonso, like Goldschmidt, which they could have done during the offseason. They did neither, and now you see what that gets you. So that's my biggest gripe with them, dude. You got to spend some money to put some firepower on the field. That's where I'm at.
The Giants have become real estate moguls. Have you seen what's going on south of McCovey Cove? There's plenty of dough, dude. There's plenty of dough. The pitching has kept them in the conversation. Without the pitching, they're screwed. And if we're going to rely on Ramos and Jung Hoo Lee and Wilmer Flores, it's not going to happen. Chapman and Adames need to step it up. They could use some help, man. And if they have to trade one of their young arms, that might have to be the case. I don't want to see that happen. Or I'm sure people are chomping at Bryce Eldridge, wanting call it.
Are you still kind of foot down on that, T? Like, it's too soon, don't rush him? Are you still there? I'm like kind of just watching that from afar. I don't really have
I don't think he's ready. And I've read scouts talking about how, yes, he's tearing it up in Richmond, which is AA ball, but it's
that squirrels. Flying squirrels? Yeah.
But he still has the quote said it, like he still needs to fix the holes in his swing. And dude, when they get a chance to watch film on him, say he comes up for 2 weeks and he tears it up. Remember Joe Panic when he first was a Giant and he was on a freaking tear?
I've seen that happen a lot of times with young players that come up. They're hot for like a month, and then the pitchers figure them out.
Well, they watch film and they watch it frame by frame. With film nowadays, film is the greatest teacher. I mean, when I was playing in college and in high school, we used to film our batting practice sessions, and we would take our swing and literally watch your swing frame by frame, because the filming wasn't filming where the balls were going off the bat. The camera was to the side watching the mechanics of your swing. So we would, and I had my coach had a poster of Tony Gwynn's swing frozen at the point of contact, and it pointed out different things in his swing that you wanted to try and do in your swing. And so when you would see the hands dropping, or your top hand dropping, or if your shoulder tilt and not level shoulders, if you're not turning your hips, not to get too technical, but all that stuff, all the mechanics of a good swing. And so I don't know, man. When they see film of a guy like Eldridge, they'll probably eat him up.
I'm afraid of that too. Now, we had a couple of comments on the line here. I think it was Anthony Merkovich, I think, just posted this. He goes, he said he's heard that Eldridge can't field. Have you heard that?
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, good. I'm
That's cool because God.
That was a good reaction. Oh, cool. No, that's awesome. Yeah, good.
Yeah. How do you? I mean, first base is not an easy position, but of all the infielding positions, it's probably the easiest.
Yeah. Do you feel like the Giants farm system at this point, like where do you think it, because again, I know I'm referencing this maybe too much, but you always point to the things that work the best. And when I think about the 3 World Series teams, I always think about the fact that most of those, or a great bulk of those guys came up through the Giants system, whether it was Timmy, whether it was Bumgarner, whether it was Kane, like all these amazing players that got them titles, they all kind of came up. Like, where do you think, and this is something I got to be honest, I don't watch this as closely as other guys do, like Larry Krueger, Brian Murphy, people like that. They study this shit. I kind of wait till the guys come up to the bigs and then I like draw my own conclusions. But where do you think, are you happy with the state of the Giants farm system and the players that are coming up, T?
I don't know enough. I do know that player, Bo Davidson, who's with the Eugene Emeralds, are big on him. There's scouts that have made like Barry Bonds comparisons to this kid.
I'm still gonna maintain that kid can play based on his name alone. That's just a baller name. Hey, Mom, this is my friend Bo Davidson. He hits bombs. You know what I mean?
And he's a big dude, big lefty bat, and the highlights you see again. Remember, the pitching they're facing is not the pitching that they'll see in the big. So you got to remember that the pitching that Bryce Eldridge is seeing in Double A is not what he's going to see in the bigs. And in Triple A, it gets better than in Double A. And so the whole talent pyramid, get to the top. So I'm excited for Eldridge. I really am. But if we rush it, it could damage him for a long time. I'd rather that's why, man, you talked about this, man, about the polar bear in the offseason, about bringing somebody in like him. I don't want another lefty power bat, because Barry Bonds has proven that unless you're Barry Bonds, it's a hard field to hit in.
Ask Brandon Belt. Brandon Belt, like he barely could ever crack 20 home runs as a Giant. I mean, he did that one time in 2019 or whatever it was. But no, you're right. For a guy like Brandon Belt, who the projections were, this guy's a 30 home run a year guy, that never really happened. And do you actually think most of that is because of the yard, Tony, just for lefties?
Oh, dude, is an absolutely pitcher-friendly park. It's like, think of Triples Alley, dude.
Well, they moved the walls in a few years ago. You remember that? They altered the dimensions a little bit.
Yeah, but not by much. And also, if I'm a pitcher, I'm loving that they have Triples Alley. Loving. Because if you have a guy like Jung-Hoo Lee, he can run down balls there. If you have a great right fielder like Yastrzemski who can run down balls, those are home runs in other parks, right? So, wait, hang on a second. Sanchi coming strong. MLB Ghost Runners is scammed to save owners from having to pay vets to hit late in games. Nice, dude. Where is Lenny Randall these days? Replaced by kids who make the minimum. Wow, that's
replaced by kids who make the minimum. Sounds like terrestrial radio. Oh, anyway, sorry, a little nice clay for you. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what I mean? T? Oh,
I know what you mean. Paulie, can you say that line one more time?
I said, replaced by kids who make the minimum. Sounds like terrestrial radio.
Oh, where to go? Shoot, where to go? Darn it. Oh, I was going to say. Oh. Damn it. And also,
back to walnuts. Give me more Paulie. I don't want Keith. Don't give me the Keith. I want walnuts. Give me that walnuts. Oh. Yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you, Tony. Thank you. Yeah, Ghost Runners suck. I hate them. I'm with you, Sanchi, and thanks very much for checking in today, brother. We appreciate it, man. Oh, and by the way, dude, real quick, because I know we got to wrap really soon. Kidding aside, Tony and I, we have not forgotten about the VIP bonus content. I think we're going to be ready to unload that on Friday. I think we're going to be able to give you guys something. All right, cool. So I just wanted to follow up. I meant to do that at the beginning of the show, but for all of you VIPs, first of all, thank you. And second of all, your bonus content is coming around, y'all. And we're going to get to that on Friday. So thank you for your patience. It's all coming. All right, Tony, final thoughts here as we kind of bitch and gripe our way through a Tuesday broadcast. Sorry it didn't work out with Steve Moskowitz. We'll try to get him back on the show at a later date. In the meantime, I'm just going to hope for the best tonight with Roop. There it is. We're going to introduce our what?
It's tough when you're as a fan, you say, well, I'm just going to hope for the best. Well,
because you have to. Where's the hope? Like you point to something and say like it's encouraging offensively. I don't see anything. There's no signs of life out there, man.
I mean, and to Melvin's credit, he's juggled the lineup. He's moved Adamas down. He's doing what he's trying to do. And I'm a Melvin fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Melvin supporter. I'm even a Pat Burrell supporter. I know people are starting to call for his job. I don't necessarily think it's the batting coaches or the hitting coaches responsibility to make contact at the plate. Yes, you can work with these guys, watch film, take reps, work on different approaches, different counts and stuff. But I will say, there is this kid who grew up in right up the street here in Belmont and played in San Carlos, played in San Carlos Little League. He was just in our Hometown Days annual festival, and he wore number 25 for the Giants, and he broke the home run record. He is there. He is available to use as a resource. If anybody wants to give him a call, maybe talk about working through slumps, maybe talk about what to do, when you are slumping, kind of how do you work through it? Hey, Barry Bonds, that's why I wish Barry could be. I don't want him as a hitting coach. He doesn't want to do it. I get it. But maybe they bring in Barry today for a closed door meeting without the pitching staff. By the way, the pitching staff doesn't need to be in this meeting.
Hey, couple quick things. I feel you, T. Maybe Will Clark could help out too. Just go in there and start screaming and yelling at these guys. What the hell's wrong with you guys, man? And that Will Clark voice, because Will Clark can hit right now. You put Will Clark out there in the batter's box in his freaking slippers, he will put the ball in play. He'll get on base. And somebody suggested you guys should get Will Clark on your show. Dude, you want to know what's crazy? I hadn't even thought of that. I'm such a great call. I got so much brain damage. I hadn't even thought of that. I would love to have Will Clark on the show. Maybe we can make that happen. Let me reach out and see what we can do. Great call. And then Mark Weisman just checked in and he goes, guys, I'm teaching a class right now. My kids are taking a final, so I have the sound down, but I'm still entertained by Paulie's hand gestures. My mom keeps telling me that. My mom's like, Paulie, you're waving your hands around like there's a fire in the house all the time. That's just how it is, man. You know what I mean? It's that whole East Coast, Italian, Irish, we're very demonstrative. Sorry about that, T. I can't help it. The hands are going to wave. What are you going to do?
Don't ever change, man. There's been so many spills in my lifetime because my hands are always flying.
Shout out Bobby Weir's wife. Yes, I did. I spilled on
That's
her.
why I don't own white clothing. I refuse to own white clothing because it doesn't last more than one outing. Because I will spill coffee or fudge or chocolate ice cream or wine.
Right. It blends right in. All the spills right in.
Right. Dude, I've got spills on this Major League t-shirt. I promise you. Of
course.
But with the white, that's why I don't wear a white, because I'm always, talking. Oh, hey, boom.
You should see the chair I'm sitting on. In fact, you did see when Tony and I were setting up the studio in my house. This is like a year ago. He was helping me and we're putting all this stuff up here. Dude, he looked at the chair and he's like, dude, what did you do to that chair? I'm like, I don't even know. It looks like somebody spilled battery acid on this chair. It's like eating itself alive. I have no idea what's going on here. Hey, Dub City is a super. Escobar the third with all this shit. I know. Dude, I know. It's not crazy.
Because of the pitching. Escobar third, you're absolutely right. That's a silver lining. That's a glass half full. Absolutely correct. But they just think about where they could be if they were hitting, I don't know, 240 as a team, 250 as a team, 260 as a team. I repeat, they're only 15 points ahead of the 10-win Rockies.
Okay.
That's not good.
I wanted to say this too, Escobar. You're right. That's the way to look at the situation the Giants are in right now before it tanks and starts going downhill fast is yes, they're only 3 games back of the biggest payroll superstar-laden team I've ever seen in my life in these LA Dodgers. So why not make a move and try to make something happen rather than just sitting back and being like, oh, I like our team. I like what Lamont Wade's bringing. I like what Adames is doing. He's a dude. Well, you know what, man? He's a dude, but he's a dude who's not hitting. That's what he is. He's a dude that's not hitting. I need dudes that can hit. So I'm saying, Tony and Escobar, let's make something out of this, man. Don't sit on your hands. Let's pull a lever and bring in somebody who can help this team. Sorry, Tony. I know you got something. And when you're done, there's another super up there. I can't see the name. I don't know who it is.
Dub City. It's Dub City. Okay. Dub City. I'm going to get to you in just one second. But, Paulie, on that note, the Giants are second in MLB with a 2.82 ERA. I don't know. I'm sorry. They're 3.05. The Mets are 2.82. So the Mets are the only team with a better ERA. Okay. The Mets are 5 games higher in the win column. That's a big deal. The Giants would be in first place with 5 wins higher in the win column in the NL West. So you can't rely on Logan Webb and Robbie Ray to drop dimes every outing. You just wasted Robbie Ray's wonderful performance in Miami. You just wasted Logan Webb's great performance. Webb is not going to, he has a 2.55 ERA right now. He's not going to stay at 2.55 the whole season. You can't expect them to stay like, if you give up 3 runs or less, that's a great outing, right? That's a great outing. When you're dropping zeros,
he's done that 3 times this year.
I know.
Yeah.
And the Giants have given up 4 runs total in the last 4 games, and they're 2-2. Also, you want it on the flip side?
Yes.
The Giants, and I got to give Johnny Lund credit for this stat because he put it out there last night. And by the way, catch John Lund Unleashed tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Bay Area Sports Collective. We freaking love Johnny Lund. 19. They've only scored 19 runs in the last 14 games. 19 runs total.
Nah, come on.
That's a run and a half a game. That's not cool. Let
me let Charles Grodin address the situation if I could, Tony. Let me just let Grodin get involved.
What the hell?
You know what I mean? What the hell? No one's scoring runs out here. Enough is enough.
I'm gonna get Bob Marley involved. Maybe they should all have some medicine.
Herb is a plant.
Dude, I like this. We're stirring up
everything.
Right?
That was my bad. I didn't mean to step on Bob. That was my bad. Sorry. Let me again raise my hand to the scorer's table because I was stepping on T. Foul on number 44, Paulie Mack. Yes, Tony.
Herbs are good for everything.
There you go.
Hey, you just ask the Steel Pulse guys. They'll back that. Hey, Stevie B, I think you were just joining us late today. Stevie B, go back. We did a whole riff on Thibodeau and your Knicks, and I actually shouted you out. I hope you're doing all right, brother, in the aftermath. I am not psyched about these finals at all, by the way, for me to use Stevie B, even though I'm going to watch all the games. I'm hoping for the best. I think OKC might run these guys out of the gym. I really do. I just think they're too good. And on top of that, Creative Tony decided, we're having this also discussed in a pre-show meeting today. Tony was like, you know what we got to do? We're bringing back the bummer bracket. So we're going to be, because we're all kind of bummed. I don't know anybody who's like legitimately like thrilled about these finals. Maybe if you live in OKC or obviously you're a Pacer fan, don't give me this Paulie's Pacers crap. That was manufactured. I don't even know where that came from. But if you're excited about the finals, good. My hat's off to you. For the rest of us, it's kind of a low wattage affair. So Tony was like, you know what? You're bummed. I'm bummed. We're all bummed. Let's bring back the bummer brackets. So they're coming. We're going to let everybody play along during the NBA finals. And finally, Tony, you handled Dub City here. I've been shooting my mouth off too much. You take this.
I will. Before I get to Dub City, I also want to say I ran into a buddy of mine, Terry, local buddy in town here in San Carlos. And when I saw him, he had a brand spanking new Oklahoma City Thunder hat. And I was like, oh, wow. Look at you.
Already,
he's a big Jets. He's a big New York Jets, Knicks fan, right?
Okay.
So I go, that's interesting. And he goes, hey, man, anything to make sure the Pacers don't win this title. And
I kind of agree. Kind of agree. Halliburton's dad.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah.
you know, there's no dignity there. I want a class operation. If SGA can prevent himself from flopping his way through this series, it'll be a lot easier to root for them. But you saw him, dude. Anthony Edwards got like within 6 inches of him. He goes flying backwards on the floor. It's hard to watch that, which is another reason why I'm not that psyched about this. But Dub City, what's he saying here?
He says, I think it would be cool for VIP bonus shows if you guys would do themed shows like favorite stand-up comedians, old school ticket 1050, deep dive, etc. I want to hear Paulie talk dice.
Okay.
I love it. Love it.
We'll talk dice. I can recall, that's actually a really good idea. We could do like a ticket 1050 like Q&A show where we just like go deep in the woods on that because there are so many. That was probably the most fun era of radio that I ever experienced. It was like the Wild West, man. In the late 90s, it was mayhem out there. It really was. I mean, we had a lot going on, dude. The shower curtain in the studio. There was a lot going on back then. Dave Chappelle in studio. We had a lot of fun. So good call, Dub City.
Hey, Dub City, thank you for the super. And also to everybody out there, follow Dice on Instagram. He is putting out hysterical stuff on Instagram where he is playing. By the way, I guess he's a drummer. He just put a video out today where he's playing.
He can play a little bit. Yeah, he's not bad. Yeah,
but he was playing like to like a Grant Green funk track, and I was like, dude, listen to this. This,
he's like when you hear Andrew Dice Clay speak seriously, he's actually like a Sly Stone fan. He's a pretty cool guy, and he is a pretty good drummer. And what you're talking about on Instagram, Wink sends these to me all the time. Dice is doing shows with John Lovitz.
Yep.
So the two of them are filming like these sketches, dude. It is hilarious, and it's not like the old Dice. You know what I mean? up the hill with a buck and a quarter. Jill came down with
No.
250.
Right.
Oh, like it's not like quite like that. It's a little bit more like adapted to the times, but it's really, really funny stuff. You like
Oh,
Dice,
it's
you like
incredible.
if you like Lovitz, check it out. They're funny as hell.
No question. Yes, and by the way, Mark Wiseman is a teacher in Palo Alto, a dear friend of mine. He's reminding us that the Giants still have a better record than his Angels, so we shouldn't be so angry. So
okay.
That's a little perspective. And again, it could be worse. We could be the Sacramento A's with a higher ERA than the 10-win Rockies, or we could be the 10-win and 50-loss Rockies. Dude, 50 losses on June 3rd. Dude, that's unbelievable, man.
Great 50s of all time. I'll start, Tony. I'll go first. Shout out to Gary Plummer. I always thought he was a really good linebacker with the Niners. That was an underrated linebacking group, in my opinion. Gary Plummer, Ken Norton Jr., and Lee Woodall. All three of those guys, dude. All three of those guys were rock solid defenders in the middle of the field. You got a 50 for me, T, or we just stop at Plummer?
I'm going to go a couple for you, Paul. I'm going to go Ralph Sampson was a good 50. Ralph Sampson, a good 50. And then I'm also going to go Scott Gereltz was a good 50 for the Giants pitching staff way back when.
That's where you dropped the mic, dude. That's a mic drop moment. Gereltz, bro. Great pull. All right, here's another great pull. We got to give our sponsors some love and let you guys get to your lunch breaks. Thanks for giving us all the time today. Turned out to be a really weird and fun and interesting, hopefully funny show. I know I was laughing a lot. Well, we had to. Dude, if we didn't do the laughter, because I saw I was going down a bad road, Tony, at the beginning of the show because my blood was hot. I was hot. I was writing notes for the show, and I'm like, oh, look, the Giants haven't scored in fucking 3 years. Look at this. And I'm writing all these notes down, and I'm just getting more and more pissed as I'm writing notes. And I kind of brought that to the show, but it turned out to be a fun show today. So thank you guys. Lily Merchant, Stevie B, Escobar, John Joseph, Aaron Cass. Hey, John Joseph, congrats on those tickets, by the way, man. I'm glad you won.
I'm also glad that he had to put the razor away. No Peter Tosh, no stepping razor from John Joseph. I'm very excited about that.
Tony, just for your head, I looked over at the text line real quick. Escobar, this is all it says. Escobar the third. Little Miss Muffet. That's all it says. Little Miss Muffet. You know what I mean? You know which one I always like? I like when Dice goes, 3 blind mice. See how they run. Where the F are they going? You know what I mean? Where the F are they going? All right, Creative Tony, I'll tell you where the 3 blind mice are going. They're going to Dr. Matt Young's office. Oh, okay. They're going down there for their teeth cleanings, just like Paulie Mac does, and just like you should too. Creative Tony's on his way down. He wants to book an appointment. Dr. Young, you're gonna love Tony. You want to talk baseball? This is the guy. Creative Tony will talk baseball with you until the cows come home. And he probably has some good advice for Dr. Matt Young's son, Joe, who's going to be playing baseball where Tony played baseball at SI in the city. So that'll be really cool. In the meantime, I can tell you from my own experiences how great of a dentist Dr. Young is. He's done a lot of stuff in my mouth and my teeth over the years. He's done root canals, he's done fillings, and he's done lots of cleanings, and he moved a couple things. He really did. He really improved the whiteness of my teeth. I'd like to say, Tony, he improved my smile. And I hope he did, but he made me feel more confident about my teeth because they were a train wreck before he got involved. So thank you for all the great work, Dr. Young, you've given me over the years. He accepts most major insurance coverages, so he shouldn't have any problems there. And again, just great service, great work that he does. His staff is super cool. And I'm going to let Tony take it because Tony wants to make the appointment. You're up next, T, so go ahead, brother.
Well, in the beginning of the show, we talked about maybe Dr. Young should bring in a chair to the Giants clubhouse and give some cleanings and get their minds off their hitting.
Maybe you should bring the gas tank too. Relax these guys a little bit. Yeah.
Now you're talking. You're talking. A little gas, a little cleaning, that would help out. But I also need a cleaning because I drink a ton of coffee. I also enjoy red wine.
Yep.
And so my daughter reminds me constantly, Dad, why are your teeth yellow? Yeah. So I need to go get a cleaning. So I'm going to go see Dr. Young, but I want to do it on a Saturday. They're open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I love that. So I want to go early. I want to get on Caltrain. I want to get off of Caltrain at 4th and Townsend. And I want to get on a Lime scooter all the way to Union Square, get my cleaning, hang out with Dr. Young, hang out with the staff, listen to some tunes, be relaxed, feel the vibe that they create inside the Young Dental Group. And then I'm going to get back on my Lime scooter. I'm going to go down to Long Bridge and have a nice pizza pie and a nice, if anybody wants to meet me, feel free. We could do it together. We could send videos of us on our scooters at flipping off Paulie. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, great. Whatever it takes. You know what I mean? I'm glad I'm being attacked in that scenario somehow. Somehow I'm like the
Well,
target.
because you're anti-scooter, man. My
Big
goal is
time.
to get you on a scooter.
They're mucking
The
up my
goal-
streets, Tony. They're mucking up my streets in the city.
No.
It's hard enough to get from A to B. Now I got these a-holes to deal with. And their little scooters, beeping their horns. It's like, dude, get you. I'll
Well,
run you right off the road, kid. Yes, go ahead. What?
Think about my white smile after going to see Dr. Young. So I'm gonna report back. I'm gonna call them today. I'm gonna make an appointment. I'm gonna call, and then I'm gonna go visit them, and then I'll report back. But I look forward to it. 415-392-8611. 415-392-8611, or email them info@youngdentalsf.com.
And thank you, Dr. Matt Young. We freaking love you, man. And you're great at what you do. And thank you for supporting the show. On to another guy who's great at what he does and supports the show. I see him right there right now. He's Low Steve. He is one of us. Obviously, he hangs out on the show all the time. But what he does when he's getting down to business is very serious work at Flex Funding. He can help you with private money loans. He can help you with a variety of different mortgages. In fact, he specializes in HELOC loans, home equity lines of credit. I read you that review earlier in the show from Yelp from Lauren, or was that a Google review? I forget, but it was a satisfied customer named Lauren who just kind of sang the praises of Carlos. I can tell you, Carlos brings that 26 years of experience to every client that he helps. He is one of us in the sense that he's a city guy, man. He's 26 years in business and he's a San Francisco native. Here's another thing about Carlos. You can freaking trust him. I think that's probably one of the more valuable assets Carlos brings to the table, because not all these guys are like that, man. I've dealt with some shady people. Some people just don't care. They're just like, yeah. Sign on the dotted line, and my services it cost X amount of money. I take checks and credit cards. It's like, you're a little bit pricey. Carlos is not like that. Carlos will not strong arm you or try to influence you into making decisions that are going to be counterproductive to you, counterproductive to your business, to your family. Carlos is going to help you. There it is right there. Give me the shade. Thank you. I like the one with the shades personally, because I see a lot of Ari Gold from Entourage with the shades. I just see it. I don't know. And Carlos is a handsome guy. He's a cool guy. He likes to have a good time. He loves music. He's hard on his Niners, hard on his Giants. I bet you Los liked the show today because we were teeing off on the Giants. But I got to keep it real. By the way, Patrick Patton said a couple of minutes ago, hey, guys, bad baseball equals good shows. You know what? You're right. No, you're right, man. When it's all kumbaya and everybody's happy, maybe not quite as entertaining. But right now, dude, things are spicy. Come on, Roop. There it is. Give me something tonight. Anyway, no appraisal fees, no hidden fees of any kind, no escrow, no title fees. And again, he appreciates and values your time. He usually can close within 8 days. So, Tony, those are my reasons. Give Carlos a call, 925-250-4894.
Hey, dude. Also, Anthony Merkovich, I see you in the chat. He says he might use Carlos in the near future. So, hey, Anthony, seriously, even if you're not ready to use him now, give him a call and have the conversation and get prepared for something down the road. Carlos, he's all about building the relationships. I said in the beginning of the show, there's a song from 311 that I love from their first album, and it was called F the BS, It's Time to Throw Down. Oh. And as we get older, and we did a riff earlier in the show about adult stuff, right? When we have to do adult stuff like finances, like mortgages, Los will make that experience enjoyable. It'll make it like you'll actually like look for, hey, I get to give Los a call today. I got to give Los a call. It's kind of like I have a great mechanic in San Francisco. I look forward to hanging out with him. We might even crack a beer at the end if I show up towards the end of the day, right? At the shop. Like that's the kind of stuff. Los is somebody who you might develop a friendship with, and he wants to take care of you, and like a win-win scenario. And it's, as we get older, there's no time for BS, right? There's no time for it. We gotta keep moving and grooving, and keep doing things and taking care of ourselves through our finances, through those adult decisions that we have to make. Carlos wants to help. Carlos De La Fuente, 925-250-4894. Carlos at myflexnow.com. And also, Carlos said it in the chat earlier, and I want to remind people, date the rate, marry the house. I freaking love that line. Date the rate, marry the house.
Let me deliver it like Andrew Dice Clay. So I go over and I say, date the rate, marry the house. Oh! Anyway, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm doing Dice Clay ads now for Low Steve. I don't know why. It's just Dice has kind of taken over the show today. Oh!
It's fantastic, Paulie. But there's VA loans, Alt-A loans, HELOC loans. He can help you in state, out of state. He's there to help. Reverse mortgages. He can help you with all this stuff. Give him a call. the reason why we partner with those is because we trust him, and you should too. That's
Thank you, Tony. Well said, my friend. Hey, wound up being a pretty long show today, and it was like nothing like we actually tried to plan out. It became this other thing entirely, but it was fun. It was very therapeutic today. Thank you, Anthony Merkovich. Thank you, NorCal Refrigeration. Thank you, John Joseph, Low Steve for life. Let's see. We got Lily Merchant out here. We got Stevie B. We got Rags. We got Winks. Who else am I forgetting? I don't know. We got Escobar the Third. On and on and on it goes. John Joseph, you know how we feel about you. My brother Phil Dawson. Thank you. Don Peralta, Aaron Cass. Yes. Miguel Salas, thanks to all of y'all. And from Tony, myself, and Andrew Dice Clay, we want to wish you a very healthy and happy Tuesday afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow for our night flight. We're going to take this bad boy to the nighttime, and hopefully we will get connected with Steve Moskowitz. We'll work on that for you, too. Looking ahead to Friday, we have Metallica tickets to give away. We also will introduce the NBA Finals Bummer Brackets. And what am I forgetting? Oh, bonus content. It's coming your way. Free buffet coming your way. That'll be on Friday when we finally get to the VIP PMP bonus content. We're ready to unload some cool stuff for you. And maybe we will do a special Ticket 1050 like retrospective show. That would actually be a lot of fun. We had a lot of good times back then, and we can share a million stories. Tony, go ahead. Final thoughts, buddy.
Just in a weird way, I'd like to thank the Giants for sucking right now at the plate, because it did provide for a fun show, and it did provide for the great content from the PMP Army. Thank you, all of you. Keep it coming. I also just want to remind people to head, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe while you're there. Smash that like button. It's all about the likes. It's all about the views. It's all about the hammering of that and giving us the traction that we can continue to build. So at Polymax Particles on YouTube. Also, if you want to become a PMP VIP, down on the corner of the screen, hit that icon right next to the subscribe bell. And I just want to play this too for NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC.
PMP VIP. PMP VIP. PMP VIP. Join today. PMP VIP. PMP VIP. PMP VIP. Join today. PMP VIP. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hells yeah, man. Thank you so much. I freaking love that, dude. I feel the Clash, and I feel some Black Flag in there, too. It's freaking great. Great punk rock statement. Creative Tony, bring in Professor Diamond Dave to dismiss our students, if you could.
Class dismissed!
Yeah, man. Yeah, a little VH is always good for you. Good for your head, good for your heart, good for your soul. Noemi, have a good day. Candlestick Kid, Mark Wiseman, Rags, free buffet coming your way. Let's see, Don Peralta, Candlestick Kid, Cody Marchetti, good to see you, man. Nicky DiFrancesco, rock and roll. Hey, everybody have a great time. Bradley 84, we'll see you guys tomorrow night too. Thanks for tuning in. Creative Tony, what else can I do? We give you everything we got, you know what I mean? Hickory Dickory Dock, they went up the hill with 250. Here we are at the end of the show. Yeah, you got any final thoughts on Dice Clay you want to share?
Mary, quite contrary.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
You really should. You really should.
Well, you talked about what I said to that girl at the at Finnegan's Wake, 25 years ago.
True story.
Maybe I think of Mary, quite contrary. But hey, Paulie, maybe you should grab a bat. Maybe you should grab a helmet tonight.
And yeah, you don't want me up there, bro, hitting dribblers. You know what I mean? I hit a dribbler to the shortstop. That's about as much as you're going to get from me. Not a whole lot of firepower.
Well,
no, you'd be better off in the box, dude. Bring your little skateboard helmet and get some hits, man. I've seen you do it.
I know. All I got to say in the end is, Roop, there it is. Roop, there it is. Because, dude, right now, that's all we got. Hey, Willie. Feel free to swing when you have two strikes, okay? Call thirds in a 0-0 ball game when you're batting 2-0 whatever is not acceptable.
Hey,
and when you're getting paid, dude. Anyways,
I just like you dropping a hey Willie.
Dude.
Hey, Willie. All right, real quick before we go, Tony, greatest Willies of all time. I'll go first. You ready? No one's ready for this one, but here it comes anyway. Willie Ames from 8 is Enough. Tommy Bradford. Willie Ames. You got one for me, T?
Dude, I've got a couple for you. Willie Brown. I worked on the morning show with Willie Brown for a year.
Willie Brown, no question.
With Will Durst and Willie Brown. It was a fun show. Will and Willie. That was a really fun show. And then also One-Eyed Willie from freaking Goonies, dude. That's I got you. One-Eyed Willie. That's
Well,
the yeah.
I
Anyway,
have to close this show with the greatest Willie of them all. And this might upset some people, but for me, it's Willie McCovey. It's always going to be Stretch. It's going to be Willie McCovey. I know people can say, Willie Mays, Willie Mays. Yes, of course, Willie Mays. But I feel like I'm here to represent Willie McCovey. That's the guy I grew up with playing first base in the 70s. Those big, that beautiful swing he had, dude. And his home runs were like moonshots. They were so majestic. So for me, it's Willie McCovey. That's how I'll choose to end the show today. I know, Lily, of course, Willie Mays. There's no question. But everybody talks Willie Mays all the time. I feel like I'm here to help Willie McCovey along and get that statue up in the Cove and the whole bit, dude. I'm a McCovey head. I'm a Stretch guy. What do you want from me? Willie McGee. Here they come. Willie Nilly. There's a million Joe Willie name. It's nice, Rex. We better get out of here because we're going to be here for like another hour. Tony, go have a nice lunch. We'll talk about the brackets. I'll call you in about an hour, dude. We'll get that whole thing happening. We'll have a little meeting. Rock and roll. You guys, thank you so much, man. We love having you on board every day. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you tomorrow night for our night flight. Peace. Enjoy your Tuesday. Come on, Giants. Give me a break out here. Ow!
peace, y'all.